Mr. Gonzalez, you're charged with tampering with the government record. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 30 days in jail with credit for the 10 that you've done. So it's basically, however, you need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. From now on, in misdemeanor land, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail.
Right out the gate, the judge isn't pulling punches. Gonzalez is looking at potential jail time and a lifelong record. This opening sets the tone. Fast-paced justice, Texas style.
Do you understand?
Sure.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, give up the right to appeal once you plead guilty. There's no change in this. Is this what you want to do?
Sure.
How do you plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty?
Sure.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to it.
Thank you. Have fun. That's judicial sarcasm if I've ever heard it. Translation: enjoy your 30 days, and don't come back. Judges often use humor to keep the courtroom moving, but the weight of that sentence is no joke.
Why did you miss court, ma'am? Sorry? Yeah. When you don't come to court, we issue a warrant, and you end up going to jail. I'm going to reinstate your bond, but I'm not going to do this again. The next time you miss court and I have to issue a warrant, you will go to jail. Do you understand me? No more get out of jail free cards. This is it. Ma'am, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney appointed if you cannot afford one, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 21st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a shoplifting call at JCPenney and made contact with the complaining witness, a loss prevention officer. The complaining witness stated the defendant entered the store and placed two.
Here's where things get interesting. The defendant's only 18, accused of theft, and facing a system that moves fast. The judge spots a pattern and starts what sounds like tough love, but it's really mentorship in disguise.
2 swimsuit sets and a black purse, then passed all points of sale and exited the store. The total value of the merchandise was $144.
Now, this is the co-defendant to yesterday's theft, right?
That's correct, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Joy, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to go back to JCPenney and not to be in contact with the co-defendant in this case. Do you understand? What do you do for a living? Did you graduate from high school? I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know if anything is in your system and you're to come right back. You're 18 and you have nowhere headed. That's not a good way to go through life. You know, you should never, ever have to depend on anyone, and you need to be a strong person to be able to work and make money. Because in this life, if you don't have money, this life sucks. And you're 18 and you're headed nowhere, where you're going to end up being dependent on someone. That's not a way to go through life. You need to get into school.
This part's actually one of the most raw and real moments in any courtroom. The judge isn't talking about law, she's talking about life. She's trying to break the cycle before it starts. You can feel the frustration, but also the hope.
Get knowledge so you have a good job, so you can support yourself, so you don't have to rely on anyone, much less a man. Men suck. Don't rely on them. Be a strong woman. You understand? Okay, I'm sending you for a drug test. You're going to come right back, and I'm going to appoint your lawyer today. Just take a seat for a minute. You need to do something in this life. I'm telling you, the older you get, life doesn't get easier. It gets so much more difficult. And if you don't have an education, if you don't have some kind of trade or skill or good job, you're going to end up in such a bad position that you will do anything just to get money. I'm telling you, life doesn't get easier. You lose hair, you lose the looks, it doesn't get easier. Did you tell me that you graduated from high school or you did not graduate from high school? That is what we are going to work on now. You must either maintain a full-time job or get back into school. and I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done. If you have done nothing, do you understand me? Okay, we're going to appoint you a lawyer today, and I want you to see that you're actually working to make some kind of future for yourself. The more education you have, the more money you're going to make in this life. The last thing that you need is to be dependent on a man. Men suck. You never want to be dependent on a man. Be a strong woman, have a brain, and do something with your life. You understand? We're going to work on it together to ensure that it happens. Please. Just take a seat. We'll be right back. Prospects so far. So I told her that we are all going to work together to make sure something in her life happens. So I'm giving her 2 weeks to either start working on getting a GED or back into school or working on getting a full-time job, because doing nothing all day, it's not going to happen. You understand, man? This is the lawyer that's been appointed to represent your case, Mr. Reed. We are going to give you his phone number now. You must get in contact with him today so that you guys can get on the same page about the case. Don't pick up any new cases, and I'm expecting you to work on good things.
And here's the wake-up call. Assault cases aren't just about punches. The judge is spelling out the civil side, lawsuits, liability, and how a split-second fight can ruin your bank account faster than your reputation.
Understand? Okay, man, make me proud. And Ms. Chase, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You and the state have been unable to reach an agreement. You know, in this life, you never know who you're going to run into. You get into a fight with the wrong person, they're going to shoot your ass dead. You get into a fight with the wrong person. This society is extremely litigious. They like to sue. They like to get money. And I mean, who doesn't want money, right?
Right.
So when you run into the wrong person and you get into a fight with the wrong person, it could really cost you dearly. And as you now know, these people, they now have a lawyer.
One of the family members was a lawyer. That's what I was explaining, Judge. So she didn't call the cops
Same.
that day. The cops went to the law office the next
It's
day.
very possible they're waiting for the results of this to come after you in a civil way. That's why you have to watch out what you do, who you get in contact with. If you're lucky that you're not going to get shot, you're going to get unlucky that you're going to get sued, you know? They're going to squeeze you for every dime. That's why you have to be careful. So what do you want?
I mean, ideally, I'm asking for a deferred and a no contest plea if the court would take that.
I don't know about a no contest plea, but I'm certainly willing on the deferred, right? So you're charged with assault. You've not been able to work an agreement. Would you like to come to me for us to punish you as opposed to the state? Because you've been unable to work an agreement.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Sure.
yes.
So your other option is if you don't want to accept, then you can go to trial. That's the other option that you have.
No, not at
So,
all.
okay. So, are you guilty or not guilty of this offense, man?
I'm guilty.
Okay. I'm not going to find you guilty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to withhold that finding for a year. I'm going to place you on a probation that's called deferred adjudication.
Okay.
This is a type of probation that you give up nearly every right known to man by entering into it, meaning that you cannot fight this underlying case after today. We're putting you on this probation. If you successfully complete it, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. But you cannot tell people it was dismissed. It doesn't get dismissed. You take a probation. If you complete it successfully, you don't end up with a conviction. Do you understand the difference?
Yes, I do.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order you to undergo anger management while you're in this probation. You're to do an effective decision.
This judge is basically giving a free seminar on adulthood. Have insurance. Don't pick fights. Show up early. It's harsh but oddly motivational. Courtroom wisdom disguised as stand-up comedy. Be honest, would you survive this kind of lecture?
Decision-making class. You will also do what's called a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. No weapons and no contact with the complaining witness in this case.
You'll live 2 years after you're done.
Okay.
Now, If you're going to be driving, you must have a Texas driver license
I have-
and you must maintain liability insurance as well. Car insurance. You have to have car insurance. That's another thing. I get emails all the time where I have people asking me for help because they get into an accident and they're getting sued for $50,000 and they don't know how to go forward. They now are required to go hire a lawyer and fight this lawsuit because they got into a car accident and they damaged someone's Benz. That's why you have car insurance, so that if you get into an accident, you have the company there to represent you and take care of it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so proof of financial responsibility.
Yes, sir. I have a license, but I don't have a car anymore, so I don't have
Okay.
insurance.
Well, if you get a car, you're gonna need
Okay, yeah.
insurance. Okay. And she doesn't currently have a car, Your Honor. I'm just letting her know that
Yeah.
she gets it.
If at some point you do get into a car or you have one, even if you're borrowing someone else's car, you cannot unless you have insurance.
Mr.
Okay, so ma'am, what I'm gonna do now, you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, the right to be arraigned, charge read in open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, you give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you are now entering into a contract with us stating that you will successfully complete this agreement. If you do something to violate this agreement, like you pick up a new case, you don't do your classes on time, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. We're going to have a hearing and you're looking at an entire year in jail. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You still want to do this?
Yes.
Okay, man. I'm going to sentence you to it. Good luck to you.
How many months is the term, Your Honor? 12 months. Okay, perfect.
Just a year.
Okay.
And if you do well, you get everything done quickly and you're nice to everybody. You know, these probation officers, they have a really just tough job. They meet with the worst of the worst. They deal with excuse after excuse. So if you want to get a nice one, be the first appointment, be the first one there, be happy, crack a joke. You don't have these people eating out of your hands. But if you go there at 4 o'clock, they've dealt with excuse after excuse, a-hole after a-hole. They're probably going to be in a bad mood. And if you're in a bind and you go up there unhappy, it's not going to go well, right?
Right.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're